everyone, my name is Eula and today we're gonna read Wayside School Gets a Little Stranger Story starting at Chapter 9, Something Different About Mrs. Jules. Okay, today we were gonna see what's different about Mrs. Jules. So let's read. Now, already for read this one book with a lot of stories. Now, here we go. And first, we can read Wayside School Gets a Little Stranger story. Starting at Chapter 9, Something Different About Mrs. Jules. The children returned from Christmas vacation. On each desk were 2 knitting needles and a hunk of yarn. Today, we're going to learn how to knit, said Mrs. Jules. She showed the class how it was done. See, you stick this needle through here and wrap this around this like this. Stick it through this and pull on this like this. Then you stick this here. Any questions? Everyone stared at her. Good, said Mrs. Jules. I want everybody to make socks. Okay, get started. Damien looked at his knitting needles. He didn't have a clue. He looked back at Mrs. Jules. Now more than ever he was sure she was somehow different. She was sitting at her desk, knitting and eating bobolones. Damien couldn't remember Mrs. Jules ever eat a bobolo before. Bobolo was an Oreo cookie even instead of a white part. There was round the hunk of baloney. Mrs. Much, it bent them. Hey, Mac, whispered Damien. Does Mrs. Jules seem different to you? She is fat, said Mac. That's not a nice thing to say, said Damien. I didn't say to Mrs. Jules, said Mac. I didn't go. Hey, Mrs. Jules, you're fat. Mrs. Jules cleared her throat as she stood up. She walked around the room. Very nice, DJ, she said. You're doing fine, Rondi. She stopped at Joe's desk. Oh, Joe! She blushed. Look, everybody, I want to see Joe's socks. She held up. Isn't it the most beautiful socks you ever saw? It was the great socks. Everybody oohed and awed. Joy was as surprised as anyone. He didn't know he knew how to make socks, but the boy was born to knit. Mrs. Jules started to cry. I love this sock, she sobbed. Uh-oh, said Kathy. I think she's finally flipped out. I love you, Kathy, said Mrs. Jules. She'll look around the room. I love you. She put her head on Kathy's desk. I love this desk, she said. I love the blackboard. I love the clock on the wall. There was a roller on the floor. Mrs. Jules picked it up. I love this roller, she declared. Hey, that's mine, said Dana. But, that's okay, Mrs. Jules. You can have it. I don't want your roller, Dana, said Mrs. Jules, handing to her. You want a pair of scissors, offered Sherry. Don't give her any sharp one word, Kathy. Mrs. Jules had wiped away her tears and smiled at the class. I'm going to miss all of you very much, she said. Are you going away? Said Damien. Yeah, to the loony bin, whispered Kathy. Are you sick? Said Eric Evans. No, I'm not sick, said Mrs. Jules. In fact, I'm better than I've ever been. She beamed. I'm going to have a baby, everyone gasped. Damien couldn't believe it. He was so happy he jumped out of his seat and hugged Mrs. Jules. She was soon surrounded by her students. Even Kathy wanted to hug her. Today's my last day in here, Mrs. Jules told her students. My doctor doesn't want me to walking up down the dirty flights of the stairs every day. I wasn't even supposed to come today, but I would just have to say goodbye. I thought you were getting fat, said Mac, but I didn't want to say anything. Thank you, Mac, said Mrs. Jules. You're very concentrate. Can I touch your stomach? Said Stappin. Mrs. Jules laughed. Sure, she said. The children took turns to touching her stomach. What are you going to name your baby? Asked Allison. I don't know yet, said Mrs. Jules. What do you think? Well, if she's a girl, said Allison, I think you should name her Rainbow Sunshine. That's a very nice name, said Mrs. Jules. And if he's a boy? Buckethead, said Allison. She didn't like boys. If he's a boy, you should name him Jack Rocket, said Joe. Jack Rocket. Jet Rocket Jules, mushed Mrs. Jules. That is a nice ring to it. What if she's a girl? Cootie face, said Joe. Mrs. Jules laughed. So let me get this straight, she said. If he's a boy, I'll name him Buckethead. Right, said Allison and Rondi. And if she's a girl, I'll name him Cootie face. Right, said Joe and John. Damien left. He knew Mrs. Jules was only joking. At last, he hoped she was. Terence placed her palm flat against Mrs. Jules' stomach. Hey, he exclaimed. The dude kicked me. Suddenly, Damien felt very sad. He was going to miss her a lot. He wiped her tear from his eye. It's unfair, he shouted. We finally come back to Wayside School for after being gone so far. And now you are leaving us. I have to, said Mrs. Jules. I know, whined Miss Damien. You have to make sure that you and your baby are healthy. But it isn't fair. I think you will like your substitute teacher, said Mrs. Jules. I spoke him over the vacation. He seems like a very nice man. A man? Asked Damien. Cool. They all brought it. Pretty neat. Have a men teacher. Yes, said Mrs. Jules. His name is Mr. Golf. Huh? Something is wrong about this book. Mr. Gorf. Everybody didn't like Mrs. Gorf, but there is Mr. Gorf, maybe Mrs. Gorf's husband. So let's see Mr. Gorf chapter 4 tomorrow. How exciting. Now, did you have fun? You will ask English Country come back with some of this book, but not this story because it might be a new chapter to read. Tomorrow we get Mr. Gorf. So please subscribe to my YouTube and you'll be very excited to see Mr. Gorf. Now, bye-bye everyone.